What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I got one of my quick hit scouting report videos for you today. This one is for the Tennessee Titans. They play the Seattle Seahawks, so we will just be focusing on the Titans as we don't care about the Seahawks since we don't play them. But real quick, I do want to say that, last week I had mentioned, a couple teams like the Bills and the Titans, for example, who had really tough losses against good teams, right? The Bills lost in week one, lost to the Steelers. Tennessee lost to a really good Cardinals team. I said, hey, look, I think people are overreacting a little bit because of those losses. And, I thought that those teams were going to rebound. Unfortunately, when it comes to the Bills game, I was definitely right about that, and it didn't turn out very well for us. But, the Titans also turned it around, and they won a gritty game against a really tough Seattle Seahawks team. And just real quick, before I actually start diving into that, I do want to mention, though, that, oh my goodness, blanking for a second, that Tua actually is officially ruled out because after further testing, he does have multiple fractured ribs, and so he's definitely out against the Raiders, and he could potentially miss multiple games. So that's not good news for the Dolphins or Dolphins fans. We just have to deal with that as it develops. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. Before I actually do that, let me go ahead and swap over to this. Okay, so the Tennessee Titans, like I said, they won a tough, gritty football game with, look, they didn't play perfect, but they definitely played a lot better. Derrick Henry was a, big part of this game, and Tannehill did his thing, in conjunction with that, right? So, and as you guys know, I do like Tannehill. I am a Tannehill fan. And so until we play them, I am going to root for them. So Dolphins fans, if you hate that, sorry to say. But, there is more to... It's fine to be a fan of, other teams or other players, for certain reasons. Like, I usually root, for example, for the Steelers. I know this is kind of a side note, but I usually root for the Steelers when we don't play them because my sister is a Steelers fan. Same thing goes with the Texans because I have a good buddy that's a Texans fan. So anyway, but let's get through this because that is obviously not the point of this video. So they did win. It was an overtime game. They won 33-30. Let's start taking a look at some of these stats. So, as you can see here, Tennessee had 532 yards in total. Holy balls. So a ton of yardage in total. They gave up 397. They had 320 through the air. Actually, both teams had 320, so they also gave up that much. They had 212 rushing yards, 77 given up to Seattle. They had 6.4 yards per play and allowed 7.6. We know the score, obviously. Tennessee did lose a fumble. Neither team lost or threw an interception. Both teams allowed 3 sacks. Tennessee was 42% on third down, whereas they allowed 33% on defense. Tennessee had the ball for 42 minutes and 33 seconds. Good Lord. To Seattle's 22-42. Massive disparity in time of possession there. And Tennessee had 5 penalties to Seattle's 10. Okay. Let's jump up here, take a look at Seattle real quick and what went on there and what the Tennessee defense allowed. So Russell Wilson was 22 for 31, 343 and 2 touchdowns. Chris Carson led the way, 13 rushes, 31 for 2 touchdowns and a 2.4 average. Alex Collins, 1 run for 25. Russell Wilson added 3 for 16 and a 5.3. Tyler Lockett was 8 for 11, 178 yards, good Lord, and a touchdown. Freddie Swain, 5 of 5 for 95 and a touchdown. DK Metcalf, 6 for 11, 53. 6 of 11 for 53. Travis Homer, 2 of 2 for 14. And then, of course, as usual, I will scroll down through the rest of this just in case you guys care. And then we will move on to the Tennessee Titans to get a little bit further look. All right, so Ryan Tannehill was 27 of 40, 347 yards. No touchdowns or no interceptions because they got all their touchdowns on the ground. Derrick Henry had 35 rushes, 182 yards, and 3 touchdowns with a 5.2 average. Tannehill had 4 rushes for 27 yards as well for a 6.8. Julio Jones led the way in the passing game, 6 of 8 for 128. Derrick Henry had 6 of 6 for 55. Michael Pruitt, 3 of 3 for 43. A.J. Brown, 3 of 9 for 43. Jeremy Nichols, 3 of 3 for 26. Chester Rogers, 2 of 5 for 22. And Tommy Hudson, 1 of 2 for 14. And Joff Swaim, 2 of 2 for 10. Good Lord. Definitely spreading the ball around there in Tennessee. And look, man, this is definitely going to be a tough Tennessee team. This is a game that I do as of right now and have been, you know, it's one of the losses that I have on the season record because it's a tough team, man. And I'm not really, especially not right now, convinced that we're going to be able to stop Derrick Henry. So we'll see what happens, though. It's obviously a ways away. That's not until week 17. So let's take a look at current league standings. In total yards on offense, they have 780, and they have 390 per game, both of which puts them at 10th in the league. Passing, they have 565 total, 282.5 per game, 13th in the league in both. 298 total rushing yards with 149 per game, which is 4th in the league in both statistics. They have 46 total points and 23 per game through the first 2 weeks, which puts them at 16th in the league. Defensively, they're a little bit more into the back end of the league, and so, but again, they did have to face a really tough Arizona team in week 1 and a really tough Seattle team in week 2, and so, you know, it's not totally, you know, a surprise there. And I actually would think that the defense of the Tennessee Titans will likely, as the season goes on, balance out a bit more and probably scoot a little bit more towards the top end of the league. But anyway, as of right now, after 2 weeks, they are giving up 406.5 yards per game, which is 23rd. Passing, it's 316 for 26th. Rushing yards, it's 106.5, which is 13th. Points per game, 34, 29th. Takeaways, they have just 1, which has them at 26th in the league. Interceptions, 1, 16th. Fumbles, 0, 24th. 5 sacks, which has them at 14th. And 5 passes defense, 27th. Of course, as always, or at least for this early portion of the season, some of these are not quite accurate because there's a bunch of teams that are tied and jumbled up. And also, just so you know, this is, of course, where I have, or not where I have, where the league has the Dolphins. On the right-hand side is where they are the most updated numbers, and these are the numbers from the week before. And of course, that's the Dolphins offense there at the top and the Dolphins defense here at the bottom. All right, and with that, that will end my quick hit scouting report video for week 2 for the Tennessee Titans. And I hope you guys appreciate my videos. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comments section. Of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.